One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides unto his ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Whistles report he pays his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Well, we made it to Thirsty Thursday, man. Much love, honor, and respect, everybody hanging out with us this morning. What's good? What's good? We got a lot going on in the media. If you guys don't see what's happening here, let me clear my throat real quick. So, House advances the BBB, which is the big, beautiful bill. It got bounced back to the House again because what they did is, I guess they voted on a certain parts of the BBB, but then they still need to vote on like the other half. So there's a lot going on that I'm not even 100% keen on, but we do have the story ready to go. And then we have a Chicago mass shooting that happened overnight, as well as a firework facility blows up in California. We're going to be discussing all of these things. We also have our very first story for the day is small plane crashes in a mass casualty incident in New Jersey. I guess this was yesterday, about 15 hours ago. I'm sure some of you guys heard about that. I'm also sure that you guys heard about the firework facility and the big ass explosion. It was all over social media. Then we're going to be going into the big, beautiful bill. Then the whole ordeal with the Chicago mass shooting. Then we're going to be going into Diddy. He got his sentencing set for October, but his prosecution is seeking 4 to 5 years. He got denied his $1 million bail that he was attempting to get. But the judge said because Diddy has a past history of violence, that's why they denied him that $1 million bail. And then there is multiple missing and 6 dead after ferry sinks near Bali over there in Indonesia. So we've got a lot of stories to cover this morning. They're all fairly quick. They're not like super drawn out. I hate when the media does that. But before we start it, make sure you guys hit that like button. Helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because it's also free. Please consider becoming a member starting only at $2.99 a month, man. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is exactly how we get to speak the way that we do. And listen, we don't have to say or do things to make money on YouTube by catering to views, right? So we're 100% funded by you guys in the Breakfast Club, and humongous W to you guys. Little side note, follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my lifestyle, but of the show, as well as Millennial Food Time. And I continue to break news over there on my Instagram, as always. So make sure you guys follow that up. Also, check Naomi's been throwing the Discord link into the chat. If you guys are not already in the Discord, make sure you guys join up. It's where all of us hang out as a family, and we continue the conversations after the shows are finished and throughout the night. Actually, it's awesome. We all hang out together. Last but not least, every super chat, super sticker, gifted membership signups, all of these things are, of course, going to be shouted out and presented live onto the show But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned money, we have these platforms that you guys can donate to. And I have it ready to go on my side so I don't miss anything. Got it updated. So if you guys do send anything, I will be able to see it. All right. So good morning to everybody. Let's go ahead and do our good mornings here. We've got everyone in here, it seems like. We got Peaches up in here. Good morning to you. Good to see you. And we'll be seeing you here very, very shortly. Actually, probably right the second that I end the stream, you guys are going to be here. So it's going to be awesome. You and Hardwire. We got Rabbit of Chaos. Good to see you as well. Naomi's hanging out in the background, hanging out with us as well. Good morning. Brother Steve Easy. We got Brother Red as well. What's up? What's up, my man? We've got a lot of shit going on. That's right. If it ain't gimping, it ain't pimping. She got you, homie. We got Papa Penguin as well. Good morning. Carney's Ride as well. Good morning to you. No problem, Brother Red. I see you. Tiffany Lance, good morning as well. Rebecca up there in Canada, always appreciate you. Brother Carney hanging out, chilling, maxing all cool, shooting some b-ball outside school, hanging out with us. Very much appreciate that. And yes, I did see that. And he said the gay John Gotti. Yeah, I did see that. That was pretty funny. We got Brother Lee Lance up in the building. Good morning to you, kind sir. Good to see you. Let's see who else we've got in the building real quick. Brother Gary, good morning to you, kind sir, as well as Christopher Collins, Roll Tide. Good to see you as well. 13, my man. Good morning, good morning. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the nuttiness of what's happening here. Now, the small plane crash that happened in New Jersey, this was about 15 hours ago that this was reported. So I'm just giving you guys, transparency here. This is not like breaking news this second. The reason why I do that is I line up in chronological order of what's happened since basically we've got off the show. Usually the first two are from the day before, and then the rest are usually within the last 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours, and sometimes all the way up until just minutes prior.
Right now, let's get back out right now to this another breaking news event out of New Jersey. They're calling it a potential mass casualty incident of a small plane crash in the Williamsport area in New Jersey. You can see a live picture right now, emergency vehicles on hand, and very preliminary information. As you can see, the runway there, this appears to be just off the end. As according to reports, a small aircraft has crashed on Wednesday around 5:30 in the evening. Worcester County Emergency Management says multiple agencies are assisting at the Cross Keys Airport in Monroe Township. There's no confirmation on how many people were inside the plane.
What? How do you not know how many people are inside the plane? Come on, bro.
Or the severity of potential injuries.
We don't even know the severity.
2, 3, 4.
We have no idea if they're alive, if they died. We have no idea.
Fire engines on hand, EMS, police as well. So very limited information. I don't know if this plane was landing, if this plane was taking off. So unsure of that. But the nature of the airport, the nature of the planes that land at a small airport just south of Philadelphia indicates it was not a big plane, so it couldn't hold a ton of people.
Dark
but you can
Soul,
see them with
my
gators
man, good
out,
morning. And
potential
Tats
injuries.
over there.
So viewer discretion is advised here, watching this unfold in real time. As this was posted on social media
real
from
quick,
the emergency.
We got my man, Brother Lee Lance, sending in $2 on the Cash App for the saying for dues. Hey, man, I very much appreciate you making it rain in the Cash App for the dues. Dues paid, cuh. Very much appreciate that, kind sir.
Emergency management crew talking about this, talking about a multi-agency mass casualty incident at the Cross Keys Airport. A downed aircraft. Please avoid the area to allow emergency vehicles the best access. So that posted on Facebook, courtesy of their emergency management there in the New Jersey area, just south of Philadelphia, if you're familiar with the area. So they call it a mass casualty incident. That could be multiple people injured. It does not necessarily indicate that people were killed, but that also could be the case. Not exactly sure what's going on here with this, but a story that we're going to follow into the evening hours.
That so sucks, dude. That's terrible. I hate hearing, when shit like that goes down, it's just tragic. Those people they're innocent people. You know what I mean? Like I hate that shit. Anyways, now something that happened yesterday, about 13 hours ago, actually 14 hours now it says, but this is regards to the fireworks facility explosion. You guys probably saw it on social media. If you don't have social media, then this may be the first, but it's been, talked about. It was a big ordeal. It was over there in California. I guess 7 are unaccounted for right now in California regarding this facility. So that's a little scary to hear.
Thanks again for joining us as we continue to roll on, bringing you some of the day's biggest top stories and talkers. And one of these, take a look here at this big story we were featuring for you yesterday. 7 people now still missing after an explosion at the Northern California Fireworks facility. I mean, just
That's
look
rough.
at that impact there and that smoke that continued to trail off there. Yeah, I mean, that is a sight to see. And we want to continue to get more updates here for you on Live Now from Fox. And that is why we are going now out to KTVU's Jana Katsavana. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox and giving us some of the latest in the investigation. Jana, what can you tell us?
Well, let me tell you that right now, they still have a perimeter set up around the site of the explosion because they still say it's still dangerous.
Damn,
they haven't even
Steve.
been able to get their inspectors into the site because they want to make sure that there aren't any more explosives there. Now, we are about a mile away, and this entire section, this Esparto, is about 39 miles just west of Sacramento, the capital of California. So this is something which CAL FIRE has responded, the Yolo County Sheriff has responded, and then Esparto also has its own fire department. They've been using helicopters and drones and other aerial equipment in order to kind of get a look at what things are like on the ground there. And as you mentioned, coming into us, there were 7 people who are still unaccounted for, 2 people who were injured and were treated. But I spoke with some family members who had come all the way from San Francisco.
And what's weird is it's weird that they're only showing this view because I actually originally didn't see this view. Let me see if I can find it while this plays out for the rest real quick. It's on Instagram.
They said that there were 3 brothers who had come to work at this fireworks site last week, and they have not been able to reach them. Here's a little bit of what the CAL FIRE spokesman said when they had their briefing earlier today.
We do have aerial reconnaissance going on, and that has been a big portion of the investigation at this time. But until it is safe to have first responders get at site, and we don't know when that's going to be.
And of course, for family members, that cannot come soon enough. This is a area where you can see from some of the aerial video, you can see that there are a number of different storage units, and that's adjacent to a home that had a swimming pool. There were at least 2 explosions as a result of this fire, and then a whole barrage of fireworks that came after that. So this was a major incident. The Esparto fire chief says this was something he had never seen before.
Okay, real quick. I think I have the correct video here. It may or may not, but I'll be able to tell within a couple seconds of us playing this. Let me see if this is it. No, that's when someone drove into the fire. I saw that one too, dude. That was out of control. Oddly enough, it's not popping up. Oh, there it is. No. That's another explosion. How many explosions do they have, man? That's crazy. Unfortunately, it looks like that it's not easily as findable. I saw it yesterday, but oh well. Anyways, so you guys get the deal there. We're going to move on into the big, beautiful bill right now. What's happening with the triple B. Big, beautiful bill, what this means for your taxes. I guess someone's going to be talking about what the fuck this means. So they're going to bring some analyst on or something like that. Well, I'm pretty damn sure of it, right?
And welcome back, everyone, here to Live Now from Fox.
Brother Slim, my man.
For another
Good morning.
long night on Capitol Hill. The pizzas have already arrived for members of Congress because they are going to be there a while. Right now, there's a holding pattern going on right now to even get the big, beautiful bill to the House floor for debate. First, it has to go through this procedure vote. And right now, they are
That's what they're calling the vote, procedure vote. And even it's so funny because I was talking to my dad about this yesterday or the day before, and he goes, I don't understand. Oh, it was yesterday. He's like, I don't understand. No, it was the day before, whatever. He's like, why are they voting again? Once it passes the House, then it goes to the Senate. Once it passes the Senate, it goes to the president for him to sign. Then it's in law. Like, boom. I'm like, they're not doing it that way this time. They're breaking this shit down. They're basically voting to vote on it again, motherfucker. You know?
Oh shit!
Anyways, back to this.
Still waiting for some more votes to come in. So we are awaiting that right now. But I want to show you just the latest updates from Fox News on where we are right now.
The provisions interwoven in this legislation are monumental.
Republican leadership and the White House are jamming this bill down our throats.
Another day of debate on Capitol Hill as the House takes up President Trump's big, beautiful bill for the second time.
This is going to be, in my opinion, one of the most important things that we get accomplished in these 4 years under President Donald Trump.
But GOP leaders still have some
Yet again, Papa. Yep.
convincing to do.
The changes that were made in the Senate, some are palatable, some are not.
Some House Republicans aren't happy with the Senate's deeper cuts to Medicaid and SNAP programs, while others think the bill still doesn't cut enough spending.
We can't make everyone 100% happy. It's impossible.
I think when the choice becomes failure or passage, they're going to understand that passage beats the hell out of failing.
I think Black Dragon's making his way over tomorrow, I think. But that's what he says. So who knows? Probably won't pull up.
Democrats are doing everything they can to delay things.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to amend the rule to make in order the amendment at the desk that protects against any cuts to Medicaid and SNAP.
Well, the unanimous consent request cannot be entertained.
I ask unanimous consent to amend.
So the first half, Gary, of the vote, what has already been cleared to pass, is the extension of Trump's 2017 tax cut ordeal. So they did already approve that. They approved no tax on overtime. That was approved as well. There's a few different things that were approved, which are good. Those are good things to be approved. But there's other things, obviously, that have not been yet to be voted on, I guess. That's what the way that they're doing this shit. Anyways.
The rule to make in order the amendment at the desk that protects against any cuts to Medicaid and SNAP.
Gentlelady from North Carolina has not yielded for that purpose. Therefore, the unanimous consent request cannot be entertained.
President Trump and Vice President Vance have been talking to GOP holdouts all day. If House leaders don't think they have the numbers, they could push the final vote on the bill to Thursday. On Capitol Hill, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Now, your SSD, if you have SSD, you shouldn't be affected like that. Nah.
That is where we are right now, just in this holding pattern to see what will take place tonight and possibly tomorrow here. But we want to talk about, if it passes, what some of the big tax moments will be for everyday Americans. So I want to bring in our next guest here to help break it down for all of our viewers.
Okay, so this is a tax lawyer.
Please welcome in Rosemary Becky, tax policy lawyer. Great to have you on here. I think so many people.
So actually, I'm interested in what she's got to say about this.
Have so many questions when it comes to this. I mean, it's just a huge bill. There's so many components in it. What is one of the components that you're really looking at from a tax policy reason?
So there's a lot of wonderful things in this bill. We've got
real quick, while she speaks, I'm going to go use the restroom real quick. I've got it up. Here we go.
Tax on tips, no tax on overtime. We've got deductions for seniors. And we've also got some great things for our businesses, enhanced permanency of deductions, as well as expensing and things like that. So there's a lot of great things in this bill.
Now, why do you think at this moment here, we got all these great things, why isn't it just such an easy push there for the voters?
So I think at this moment where we're at is that there are a lot of members, particularly of the House Freedom Caucus, who are really still concerned about the spending and would have liked to see more cuts. So they are weighing their options, but I expect them to vote for this bill. I think it's a good first step to really achieving some meaningful cuts in the future.
I think a lot of people want to know too, okay, so if these big changes are implemented, I'm talking about like a no tax on overtime and no tax on tips for, everyday great hard workers, how fast would that be, put into play here for people once it's signed by President Trump?
So those provisions are retroactive to January 1. However, they entail an above-the-line deduction that will show up on your taxes next year when you file. However, what taxpayers should do is take a look at their withholding and adjust in the interim. So actually, they could see some real benefit right away.
Okay, we're back.
And I was looking too, I think another big one that people...
And by the way, I was listening to what she was saying the whole time.
Might be interested in is, if you buy a new American-made car, that you could write off the interest to those payments.
Yes, absolutely. That's another exciting aspect of this bill that takes effect, again, right away. And so people could really take a benefit of it right away.
How hard do you think it is to really get the messaging out there that so we could really, try to showcase that it could benefit all? We live in such a world right now where it is so political. It looks like it's just going to be voted on party lines. But I mean,
this is going to be a party line thing.
At the end of the day, if this wasn't such a politically charged climate, do you think it would have been passing, more bipartisan?
Absolutely. Going back to your first question, I think it is so important that we get the word about what's actually in this bill, because it will help Americans quite a bit. It'll certainly help small businesses. And so we really need to get this word out. And I do think that at the end of the day, this should have been bipartisan, because there's a lot of really good things in here. And frankly, some of the spending cuts are really focused on eliminating the waste, fraud, and abuse.
Now, there is a lot of good things in the bill. And I think that she is being biased in the aspect of just the good things that she wants for her and her family, which I understand. Okay. But you got to be realistic when you're up here talking about this shit. There's some things in there that are going to help me personally. For instance, if it were to pass, it would help me personally. But I also look at the flip side of how much this shit's going to cost us. I look at the amount of congressional pork that they filled this shit with. It's a disgrace. I thought we were advocating for smaller bills where they're not 1,000 fucking pages long. I thought we were advocating for something that the American, like me and you, can sit there and read, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, not 1,116. You know what I mean?
And I certainly think all of us can be for that.
Yeah, it seemed like most of the mentions where Democrats looked like they were trying to pivot this as people on Medicare, Medicaid would be lost without this. But it looks like from what you are saying more, they are trying to get a deep dive about just who all is on these platforms.
That's right. Real quick, hit the like button. Let's make sure we get the likes up. I very much appreciate the likes that you guys have already put onto the show. I very much appreciate your guys' engagement and laborious work over there.
Absolutely. And again, a big part of this is eliminating the waste, fraud, and abuse. And I think that is a critical first step. And obviously, members of the Freedom Caucus would like to see deeper cuts. But again,
I have a question for everyone in the chat right now. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys think the big, beautiful bill is going to pass the Senate. And do you think this whole thing is going to pass? Or 2, do you think that this is going to be shot down? What do you guys think? Honest, like an honest, without what you feel, what you think is right, not any of that. I'm not asking that. I'm asking, do you think this is going to pass?
Again, I think this is
Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's going to pass, 2 in the chat, no.
Good first step here.
All right, there we go. So Rosemary, Becky, thanks so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox.
All right, so that's good for that. Now we're going to move on into the mass shooting as we were talking about. Real quick, we got a couple of 2s. We've got a couple of 1s as well. We got Steve Posey up in the building. Good morning, kind sir. Good to see you as well as always, kind sir. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up the whole ordeal here. So there was 4 people that died from this ordeal and multiple people were injured.
7:15 here on the East Coast. Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. Good morning to you if you're just now tuning in. I'm Jeanne Francine. We are following some breaking news, which takes us out to the windy city of Chicago. Take a look at your screen as Fox 32 Chicago reports this Thursday morning, a mass shooting in River North sent at least a dozen people to local hospitals on Wednesday night.
Wow.
Tragic news we are following on the eve of July 4th.
So it was Wednesday night when this happened. That's what it just showed. So it was last night.
We're learning this happened around 11:30 Wednesday night into the early morning hours of this Thursday. Transitioning your screen to give you a live look, a beautiful skyline shot there, the windy city of Chicago. But we also want to head down to the ground outside of that nightclub to share the very latest details. You can see markers are still on the ground outside of that nightclub on this Thursday morning.
Let me see when this came out. Only 3 hours ago, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
We're learning at least 4 people have died from gunshot wounds. 14 others have been hospitalized following a drive-by shooting in Chicago. Police confirming that information.
Followed by a drive-by shooting in Chicago. Is anybody surprised that there's let's follow a whole drive-by shooting with a mass shooting. Sounds about Chicago.
This Thursday to our content partners over at the Associated Press. They say at least 3 were in critical condition from that wounded toll. The shooting happening late Wednesday in Chicago's River North neighborhood. Several media outlets said it happened outside a restaurant and lounge that had hosted an album release party for a rapper. They go on to report someone opened fire into a crowd standing outside, and the vehicle immediately drove away. At this time, no one is in custody. Now let's head back to the preliminary information from police. Police reporting that 13 women and 5 men ranging in age from 21 to 32 were shot, and that the dead included 2 men and 2 women. Those shot were taken to multiple hospitals in the area. Chris King, a spokesperson for Northwestern Medicine, said the emergency department was evaluating several people injured in the shooting, but he could not provide the number of people that were actually sent.
What's up, Brother Blair? My man, good to see you. Happy Thirsty Thursday, my man.
The hospital, nor could he provide their condition. Earlier this morning, an area pastor spoke to the media.
That's right, Jason. You are from Chicagoland. That's right. That's right. And he said that's unfortunately typical day to day nowadays. That's insanity. That's just typical shit, And most of the time it goes unreported. Like we don't see it on the mainstream media. Like we wouldn't know about the drive-by shooting that happened last night without a mass shooting happening,
Crazy. Violence that erupted late Wednesday night into this Thursday. Take a listen.
What's up, Brother Danny? Good morning, man. Good to see you, man. Yeah. You're on, homie. Go. What you waiting on, cuh?
Yeah. Pastor Donovan Price, Donovan Price, Solutions and Resources.
What have you learned about what happened in your life?
When I arrived last night, it was absolute chaos. From people screaming to blood on the streets to people laying on the streets, just a massive police presence, just horrific, more than I've ever seen. And since there was an album release party, people coming from that, a SUV pulls up and just opens fire on a crowd of people, and 18 shot and four dead at this point. And the worst I've seen, just people wanting to find their other people, find who was alive, finding who was, where their phones were, because they dropped them in the chaos, so they couldn't even couldn't even find their car keys. It's something that you wouldn't expect to find in the city. We have a lot of shootings.
What are you talking about? Yeah. He just contradicting himself. He's like, oh shit. Well, we do have a lot of shootings. Shit.
It's something that you wouldn't expect to find in the city. We have a lot of shootings, but nothing like this.
Oh, dude.
Stop the cap,
bruh.
Emotional damage.
I don't know about what you're talking about. I wouldn't have said what he just said there.
Something you wouldn't expect to find in River North, but speak to that part of it, and also speak to the fact that this was album listening party, female rapper, and yet it drew this crowd. We're hearing mostly women, and yet this SUV pulled up with multiple people inside and open fire.
Yeah, well, I think
that's what I don't know. I have no idea what the motive is yet, and I wonder if is it only him that speaks? Fuck, it is only him that speaks. I don't necessarily want to listen to him go on and on and on, but I will go to the very end where they break down what was said and condensed.
It's time out. It should be time out.
Here in a minute.
I didn't expect it to happen here because it's happening everywhere. It can happen anywhere. I think people should realize that there's no place too good for it. There's no place too bad for it.
What's up, Brother Charles, over there from Down Under. Good to see you as always.
As long as evil exists, as long as we have a preponderance of guns and stupid people who have no respect or knowledge of life, then this is going to happen. And it was mostly women, and that didn't used to be a thing, and it's devastating. And
well, yeah, it is devastating, but bro's coping fucking pretty damn hard here, dude.
Like if there was a fight set above, there was a disagreement, there was an argument.
More or less, it seems like everybody was shocked that this happened.
Okay, yeah, we know that.
an unlikely, place, even though, rap has its kind of thing that people expect, in Chicago.
Rap?
Chicago especially. And so a female rapper from Chicago in River North.
So this is a nightclub shooting. I see.
It could be a recipe for disaster, but any mass gathering seems to be a recipe, or at least a big chance that something like this could happen. Just the need of people to have someone there to help them, someone to pray with them, someone to pray for them, someone.
Okay.
Plus, unfortunately, last year was a mass shooting in Chicago. This same location, a different name years ago, had another fatal shooting. Is there any advice that you want to first give folks that may hang out over the 4th of July holiday? Then the second question is, should we increase security patrols?
Fucking big ass truck, of course, going by at the same time.
Patrol. I think this 4th of July weekend, we all know, can be a violent weekend. People need to definitely be careful where they're going. Maybe even
You know what's funny is they go, yeah, it could be a violent weekend. You know what's funny about that? You never hear that shit where I live. You know what I mean? Where I'm from, where I'm from, yes, you hear that shit. But here where I live now, bro, look out, there's gonna be some violence. Not here, dude. It's not all like that, dude. It's not. Not everything is a fucking Chicago or Los Angeles, but damn.
Think where they're going and where they're hanging out. There are some places, not to say this place, but there are some places that you have to watch out for. There are some scenes and crowds. You are a target for the person in that crowd that has beef with anybody else. And so you have to watch that. You have to watch who you hang out, or maybe it's time to make your circle smaller and maybe stay home and have a small, intimate barbecue at home or something. Crowds may not work.
That's very, very, very true, Steve. No kidding. So real quick, I'm going to skip to the very end where they condense this.
All right, so an area pastor speaking with the Chicago media this Thursday morning. Tragic news. If you're just now tuning in, we're out in the Windy City here at 7:25 on the East Coast. Tragic news on the eve of the 4th of July. At least 4 people dead, 14 wounded in a Chicago nightclub shooting. You're getting a live look outside of that area on this Thursday morning, providing more news from the Associated Press as they report a drive-by shooting in Chicago leaves 4 dead, 14 others wounded. That coming from area police. As we do know, with those people wounded, we don't know their condition. So depending on their condition, unfortunately, that death toll could increase. We are monitoring the situation with our content partners over at Fox 32. Again, learning that there was a rapper having an album release party, and they say from there, that's when this tragedy unfolded. Of course.
So it was just an album release party.
Stay tuned to Live Now from Fox.
Okay, well, it's Chicago. All right, so next on the ordeal, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, before we get into the next story, which is Diddy being sentenced for October and the prosecution is looking for 4 to 5 years. But for the pocket watchers out there, you know what I mean? This is specific.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking
shit. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into the whole ordeal with Diddy. What did Diddy do, man?
Welcome back to Live Now.
Motherfucking Diddy got off. No Diddy, dude. Fucking crazy.
Fox, I'm Gina Francine. Right now, we want to transition to the very latest of Sean Diddy Combs. Take a look at your screen. This is the very latest from TMZ as they put out on X, formerly known as Twitter. Independence Day did not come early for Sean Diddy Combs as he was just denied bail and will remain in custody pending sentencing in his criminal case. This, of course, takes us out to the Big Apple of New York City, giving you that beautiful skyline shot this Thursday morning. Sean Diddy Combs denied bail despite being acquitted on the most serious charges in his...
Yeah, and I guess his lawyer tried to go for $1 million bail or something like that, where he was going to pay $1 million in bail. So he didn't have to sit in there. They were huge talks about him walking out from that courthouse yesterday in New York, but that obviously did not happen here. Judge denied him because of his violent background.
sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Diddy will remain behind bars until he's sentenced for prostitution-related offenses, which could come a lot sooner than previously thought. Of course, we want to check in with Fox 5 New York's Briella Tomasetti. She's live outside the Metropolitan Detention Center in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, with the very latest. Briella, you've been following this from the very beginning. Good morning.
Gina, good morning to you. And that's right after a very long trial, a 7-week-long trial. Diddy is back here behind bars awaiting sentencing. The judge said he posed a danger to the public if he was released on bail due to his violent tendencies.
See?
The judge did use that argument against him and said, you said your client was violent. You said that he had some issues with aggression. I don't want to release him while this is still pending because there's potential witnesses or victims that he could influence. And that's why he kept them awaiting the sentencing.
Now it's up to 10 years each one.
Judge Arun Subramanian announced from the bench prior to trial the court denied bail, and I see no reason to reverse that now. With that bail bid rejected, Diddy is currently set to be sentenced on October 3rd. But his lawyers are pushing for that timeline to be expedited, and the judge set a remote hearing for this upcoming Tuesday to discuss it. Diddy stands convicted of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Each federal count carries a 10-year maximum prison sentence. When he heard he was acquitted of the most serious...
There it is. Each one of those counts carries up to 10 years each. Shit. Motherfucker gonna serve 2, 3, 4 years, something like that.
Charges.
I guarantee it.
He shook his fists under the table in victory. He then dropped to his knees, put his head on the chair where he was sitting, and prayed. Mark Agnifilo, the lead defense counsel for Diddy.
What's up, Hippie? Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying the thirsty Thursday morning. We got chatting with Stacks, man, the myth, the legend himself as well. Good to see you. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning.
He's reluctant to talk bail with reporters, claiming that it's still a pending unresolved matter, but he did address the stunning verdict.
Man, Stacks, what'd you do, man? What'd you do?
Stands between all of us and a prison, and that is a jury of 12 citizens. And we had a wonderful jury. They listened to every word, and they got the situation right.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Southern District of New York issued a statement saying, in part, sex crimes deeply scar victims, and the disturbing reality is that sex crimes are all too present in many aspects of our society. New Yorkers and all Americans want this scourge stopped and perpetrators.
What's up, Brother Dean? Good morning, man.
Brought to justice. Legal analysts say Diddy is probably looking at around 5 years in prison and believe he'll likely be allowed to serve concurrent sentences.
So likely to serve 5.
Plus, keep this in mind, whatever his punishment does end up being, he has already been here at MDC for 9 months, so that will go toward his sentence. Again, though, Gina, a virtual hearing on...
Oh, there's no argument from our side. You know what I mean, Path Killer? There's no argument there.
That Tuesday, so we will be
This
back.
shit is a circus. This shit is a fucking clown show, bro. It's crazy.
Likely on the story next week to give you some more.
All right, that's enough of that. All right, so now we're going to be moving on into our last story for the morning, and it's actually very short. So I guess there were 6 dead, multiple missing after ferry sinks near Bali, Indonesia. So this will be the very last ordeal. And make sure you guys stick around for the raid. We're going to be raiding a homie here at the end. I haven't set it up yet. I'll see who's live, and we'll do that. But anyways, this is as of 1 hour ago. Breaking news.
52 is the time. Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. Good morning to you. If you're just now tuning in, I'm Gina Francine. We're going to head to the House floor momentarily, but we do want to hit some breaking news, which takes us out to Indonesia. Viewer discretion is advised. To this video you are about to see, the latest information coming from our content partners over at the Associated Press. They report rescuers continue to search this Thursday for 29 people who were missing after a ferry sank and 5 people died the previous night near Indonesia's resort island of Bali. As of Thursday, they say 31 people have been rescued from the ferry's 53 passenger crew. 12 crew members, they say 53 passengers aboard, that coming from the National Search and Rescue Agency, providing a statement to the Associated Press.
Good morning.
The 5 bodies located by rescuers will be taken to their families. We're also learning that almost half an hour after leaving the port late Wednesday for a trip to Bali's port is when that happened. A helicopter and 15 boats searched for survivors.
What's up, Brother Joseph? Good to see you, my man. He says, good morning, Mr. Ball, Lucy, Breakfast Crew, Bob, and can't forget the haters. Stop the cat.
Stop the cat.
It's always good to see you, my man, up there in, my snow Mexicans. which are Canadians. Shit. Good to see you, my man.
With assistance from fishermen and people on shore.
And Miss Lotus,
we are
good morning.
learning at this time that weather was significant in being a factor in the search effort. Strong waves up to 2 meters high and darkness did hamper emergency responders overnight. While conditions have improved so far this Thursday, Indonesia's Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysicists Agency indicate waves reached up to 2.5 meters. That's about 8.2 feet, with strong currents and winds Thursday afternoon, their time. An officer at the port says that they witnessed the sinking before rescuers could be alerted. Many of those rescued were unconscious.
You didn't see her behind me earlier? She's been walking behind me all day. Well, not all day, but meaning all stream. Yeah, she's been behind me all day, all morning.
After drifting in choppy waters for several hours, Indonesian authorities are investigating the cause of this incident. Survivors told rescuers there appeared to be a leak in the engine room of the ferry, which was carrying 22 vehicles, including...
Yes, I'll do a show tomorrow, but the day after I probably won't. I probably won't. I'll be recovering, most likely. So I may not be doing a members only. But I still will go live while we're like doing the whole party and stuff like that and doing fireworks and stuff. We'll compensate with
14 trucks. Some family members arrived at the port in a panic or weeping, as you can imagine, as they sought information about their loved ones. So this is a developing story. Of course, make sure you're staying tuned to Live Now from Fox for the very latest developments. This is preliminary information. We will be staying on top of this story.
Shit. Let me make sure real quick. I'm going to triple make sure that was now the most update. Oh, no, there was just a different update on the big, beautiful bill, which is nothing. They just brought on two different analysts. President Trump's big, beautiful bill nears final vote. So, yeah, they're just talking about what they think about what's happening, which I have no care in the world for. Anyways, so listen, you guys, I very much appreciate every single one of you guys. If I don't see any of you guys, or some of you guys tomorrow morning from the show, obviously, because it's 4th of July, I understand not everyone's going to be able to make that tomorrow morning show, but we're still going to do it. But listen, if I don't see you guys then, happy 4th of July to everybody. And we'll see you guys here and, I guess tomorrow. And if I don't see you guys then, I'll see you guys Monday morning for more of the World's Madness. Make sure you guys stick around for the raid. We've got it set up to raid CT, Chaotic Truth. Make sure you guys let them know we're coming through with a Mike Ball raid. And listen, before you guys leave, make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Helps out the show immensely. And listen, much love, honor, respect. God bless, and we'll see you guys very soon.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burns.